The Indian Army chief vows erase Pakistan from the map. The Indian Air Force chief brags about fake wins over the Pakistani Air Force every 2 months. This is not just election hype, it's a saffronization of the Indian military. For the unknowing, saffronization is the concept of infusing Hindutva or Hindu supremacist thought and ideology into governing institutes, like the Indian Army is. To understand this, let's go back in time to 1909. Lieutenant Colonel Mukherjee of the Indian Medical Service writes a series of letters saying that Hindus are a dying race and that something needs to be done about it. After 1947, Indian military icons like Field Marshal Karyappa carried the torch forward, questioning the loyalty of the remaining Muslim soldiers and officers in the Indian Army. At partition, Muslims made up around 32% of the Indian Army. Today, they make up only 2%. In this supposedly secular army, there's never been a Muslim army chief. You can't deny this reality with token gestures like parading Colonel Sophia Qureshi in front of the media. In years gone by, the Indian military had this undeclared bias, but now it's an open embrace of Hindu supremacist symbols and images. What can be a greater trophy for the Indian Army than winning the 1971 war against the Pakistan Army? Yet, just recently, the Indian Army Chief's office removed that iconic image of the surrender ceremony in Dhaka with a painting called Karam Kshetra. This painting depicts Indian military assets alongside Hindu mythological figures. General Upand Divdi, the Indian Chief of Army Staff, openly claims that this painting shows the connection between the modern Indian military to its roots in the ancient Hindu mythological civilization, which is patently false because all three of the Indian subcontinent's armies, whether it be Pakistan's, India's, or Bangladesh's, they have their roots in the presidency armies of the East India Company, which colonized all of the Indian subcontinent just for profit's sake. So this fake history being peddled shows you the extent to which saffronization has been infused in the Indian military. And the pretext or the justification of this saffronization is this narrative of centuries of Hindu humiliation under the yoke of Muslim rulers, which again is not entirely true. Because in those very centuries, Hindu and Muslim kingdoms used to coexist peacefully. Regardless, this narrative is now being weaponized and used as a justification for aggressive posturing by the Indian military and warmongering, which portend a calamity for the Indian subcontinent and the billions of people living here.